Hello and welcome to the new tutorial on my channel, which is about producing the solution of affair case study, the extramarital affair case study within Tableau. So if you remember, if you have seen my previous video, this is the case study which I have given related to the external affair data based. So researcher did some analysis and based on their observations like affair, gender, age, years married, children, religiousness, education, occupation, and rating, they basically created this data set which is having 601 observation. And what I have done is I have created around these 31 questions that is related to data analysis, exploration, cleaning, machine learning and all. And in this video, with the help of Tableau, which is helpful for data exploration, data visualization, we will be exploring questions till 24, right? Even 25th I tried to attempt, but it requires a bit of working solution in that case, where I could not find some function, and I'll tell you more about it as we'll walk through over there. But whole idea is that we solve all of these data analysis and visualization question within the Tableau. And in the previous videos, I've posted the case study. I've posted this solution. If you see, answer 1 to 6, 7 to 13, 19 to 25 till here in a previous video. Link will be present in the description that you can see and utilize it if you want to go through the Excel as well, or just the case study. Okay, so with that information, let me turn to the Tableau and give you a walkthrough of the Tableau solution. So first thing first is I have imported the variables. So this blue line you are seeing is basically your original variable. So when I initially imported, these were the variables that came in. Also, there was one more variable, this first one, which I have hidden. So you can click over here and hide any column if you want. You will not be able to hide it because we are using it in a calculation, right? Similarly over here. So these basically the observations that we have imported. That's the first question. Open or import the data. How many rows and columns are present? Well, this is where in the sheet 1. So number of rows 601 and number of columns is 9. And this is based on this text. If you see over here, so number of rows is count of affairs. However, number of columns is something, since it does not have any value similar to counting the rows, what I have done is I have done a manual count and produced the output. So that's one. What is the data type of each column? If there is a mismatch in the data type, then correct it. So what we can do is go back to here and just check that affairs is account, this is text, this is again numeric, this is numeric, this is text, numeric, so on and so forth, right, till here, because this is all calculated. As you can see, equal to sign is present. So till here all the data values are correct. Remove the first column. So that's what I suggested. For the first column, click over there and hide it. Then you have create a new column, affair status, where code equals to 0 indicate no and rest other indicate yes. So over here, affair status, I will just check. There has to be affair, there you go, affair status. So this is a calculated field, which if you already know Tableau, you will be aware that you can click over here and create calculated field. And once you click over there, this is the kind of window which will be coming. Affair status, if affair is greater than 0, then 1, else 0, end. So this is how we are taking care of this, creating a new variable over here, whether affair is present or not. And the reason we are doing it greater than 0 is because there are more than one values which are present. So there is a value like 1, 2, 5, 7 and all. It basically talks about 0 indicates that they have not been involved into, let's say, they have not been involved into any sexual interaction, but 1, 2 or 7 indicates they have been engaged into one or more than one time the sexual interaction when they were having the extramarital affair. So this is a kind of study what they have done, and from my analysis perspective, what I have kept is, if 0, then there is no affair. If it is greater than 0, then we are saying that okay, affair was present and that's why they were engaged over there in sexual interaction. So that's what it means, what we are doing over here, and this you can get to know only after getting a good understanding of the data. So is there a missing value in the data set? Well, over here we have checked for the missing value. If you see, I am taking a count of each variable and you will see the count is 601, and that indicates that there is no missing value. So with that, let's move on to the next one. How many males and females are present in the data set? And we need to create a table with a count and percentage. So this is the question number 7. How many males and females are present in the data set? Create a count table and percentage. So if you see from here, I have taken the gender over here and I have taken the count of gender, and then first I have taken the percentage by taking count of gender, and over here going to the quick table calculation and percent to total. That basically shows that we have 52.4% female and 47.5% male. And then once we have this calculation, I have to again bring in the gender count over here on the text to show 315 values for female and 286 values for male. Now the next question, question number 8, is what is the most common age in the data set? Like I have shown you in the Excel as a solution, what I have done is I have first of all, I have created the age as a dimension, so you can create a duplicate over here, right? And so that's what the copy indicates, and then convert it into a dimension and it will come over here. So we have taken the age over here by converting it to a dimension, and then we have taken the count of gender. That so we can take any count since we just need the count. So this basically indicates that value 27 is having the 153 values over here, or 153 count of value over here. So this is the, so 27 is basically the coded value. If you will observe, 27 as a coded value is the most common age in the data set, right? So because I know this data set, and if I go over here, you will see that I have the mapping tables in this, and here is the coded value for, there will be a coded value for age, right? So 27 indicates the value between 25 to 29. So since 27 is between 25 to 29, so 27 is taken. 32 is between 30 and 34, so 32 they have taken. Similarly 37, 42, 47, 52. So you can get an idea about it once you know the mapping table. After this, let's move on to the next question, the question number 9, and this is this overall common age differ by male and female, right? So we have to take the overall age, which is 27, you know, the most commonly represented age, is differ by male and female, visualize and interpret the output, right? So what we have taken is 27, and so far the table I have created, however this is a wrong interpretation. So what we will do is remove the filter over here. This is what the table that we have, and over here we will produce a visualization like this, and over here we will bring the age over here. So this will basically show and indicate that for this age category 27, if you remember from question 8, which is the highest representation of the values, over here both for female and male, right? For female we will compare with female, for male we will compare with male, is something the highest representation. So you have two ways, you know, you can have side by side male female, or if you bring age over here, you will have female as one category and male as one category. So even in that you can see that 27 in both the cases is highest. So this is how you can visualize and interpret the output. Now let's move on to the next question. Do male more involved in extramarital affair than women? Well, for this again we have created a gender, in the column and affair status 0 and 1 by taking this affair status. If you remember, this is the column we created, and we are showing that we have taken the count of affair, right, affair underscore status, and over here we have taken the computation percentage of total and table down, because what we are showing is, do male more involved in extramarital affair. So we need to know by each male and female how many female were engaged into extramarital affair in overall female category, and similarly how many males are involved in overall male category. So that indicates that 27.27% males were engaged into extramarital affair compared to 22.86% females. So definitely males were more involved into the extramarital affair. So after that, the question number 11 is, usually in which age women are tend to involve more in extramarital affair. So for this we have taken the age at the top, affair status 0 and 1, and count of affair status over here, and we have taken the filter as female, right? So you can bring the gender over here and select female, which will be something like this, that you check the female, and over here when you bring the count of affair and the percentage, again quick table calculation, percentage to total, right? And that should basically show you that so this is in over here like this, in this entire row is basically for your affair status, and this is where the no affair is present. So usually in which age women are tend to involve more, right? So that over here indicates 32 and 33% over here, however 60% over here. So this is one way of looking at the values, like 40 and 60%. So clearly it indicates that 60% women are engaged. That means 17.5, that means when they are in early stages they are engaging more in extramarital affair. However, when we bring the numbers, right, if I bring the number, you will see, so I will take measure and count, you will see the data set size for this category is very less. You only have 2 and 3 values. That's why you are getting 40% and 60%. However, if we go down over here, this is probably a true representation over here, right? Even in this case. So from my perspective, if I go to this, looking at the count, 32.26% looks like a good representation. And by taking both percentage and the count of value into consideration, I would say that when women are in the age group of between 30 to 34, that's when they are engaging more into the extramarital affair. So this is the kind of thing we need to make sure that we look at both the count and the percentage in scenarios like this, where you have very less values. Obviously the count will be high either one side or another, may not be a true representation of the entire data set. However, in this count is balanced, right? And that's why it shows the true balance in the data set. Okay. So after this, what we have is the question number 12. Does low number, that means less than 5 years of marriage, impact the extramarital affair or not? And for that, we have created the year married category over here, which is a calculated field. Again, it is calculated field, so I'll just show you. If year married is less than 5, then low year married, otherwise high year married. Straightforward, right? So it shows high year and low year married. So does low number of years married impact for extramarital affair? Well, in low year, the extramarital affair is 17.96. When the number of years are more in terms of years married, then your affair number is high. So clearly we can say when the male and female are having more number of years married, that's where they tend to engage more into the extramarital affair. So this is like, a slowly an understanding is coming, observations are coming from the data. Now let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, does low or high number of married years have more impact on male and female? Now we are introducing male and female as an additional dimension. So the same metric, we are adding male and female And then we are observing that when high number of years for both male and female, males are more engaging into the extramarital affair. Status is 1, so extramarital affair. Similarly, for low year of marriage, right? Even in this case, males are engaging more into the extramarital affair, right? So that's what the answer is. Next question is over here, question number 13. So is there any relation between age and years married for extramarital affairs? So we have this age over here. Here we have the years married. Sorry, this is the years married. This is what the age is. And it shows that when both age is high and years married are high, people are engaging more into the affair status as well, which indicates that people are engaging more into the extramarital affair. So just a visualization where, it shows a normal representation, but over here it really stack up and shows that, people are engaging more as per the data points that we have. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the next question. How many children or non-children values are present? Very straightforward. We take the children, yes or no. We first take the percentage by taking percent of total, compute using table down. That shows 71% observations are with the children. That means for those children are present, and 28% children are not present. And then you have the count, so you have to bring in again children over here. The count, put it on the text, will show you the count of values. All right, let's move on to the next question. Does having no children result into extramarital affair? Well, you have the children over here, you have the affair status, and it basically shows that for children no, whether for the observations where the children are not present, 15.79% people are engaged. I mean both male and female engaged into the extramarital affair. Where the children are present, the value is almost near to the double, right? So clearly when the children are present, they engage more into the extramarital affair. Then question number 17, what is the distribution of religiousness? So this is what the count of religiousness over here. So religiousness in the column. So if you see this religiousness as dimension, I have converted, I believe. Yes, the same column. Religiousness over here, religiousness count over here. I think I tried to create the bin. However, I felt like this is the better representation where 194 people, that means those are high religiousness. So again, I'll go back to Excel and show you the religiousness code. Religiousness 4 is somewhat religious, right? And 5 is very religious. So somewhat religious is the highest representation. 2 not at all is the second highest representation. Third is slightly. So slightly or somewhat is basically pretty much hairline difference, what I would say, from not at all to anti-religion and very religious, right? So that shows kind of population we are dealing with in terms of the data set we have. Then we have, do less religious people have more extramarital affairs? So again, I have taken the religiousness 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, affair status down below, and clearly indicate that those who are somewhat religious, not somewhat, but those who are anti-religious having more external affair. Again, you can challenge it with the help of the observations, right? So to me, if I bring in count of religiousness, that is basically going to, where is this religiousness? There you go. If I bring the count, not the sum, but the count, this is relatively less observations compared to either this or this. So overall, what we see is, we can basically show, we should basically show and let the user interpret what they want. But however, this is more healthy representation. Those who are level 3, which is slightly religious, are having more affair, right? 33% is, and the observation is also healthy, 86 and 43. However, over here it is less than 50 observations, 48 observations actually. So that's what the answer will be for this. What is the probability of male having an affair? So this is where the probability questions are coming in to indicate the actual probability. So for this, we always create this table where you have the gender over here and the affair status, and the probability is 12.98. So what is the probability of male having an affair? So overall we have 601 observation. Out of that you have 78 males who are having affair, because this is male, this is where the affair is. So 78 divided by 601 will give you this 78 divided by 601. So this is what I have taken, right? So this is giving you the probability, and that's how I've done. You double click over here, and that's the field I have taken it directly from here after adding it as a detail over here. Question number 20. What is the probability of male with children? So male, children, yes. So male with children is something what we need. Having an affair is 63. Overall observations, male having an affair is 63, and total observation we have 214 for male either having an affair or not having an affair. So that becomes 63 divided by 214. So around 30% male with children is having an affair, right? So that's something what we are showing over here as a probability. The next question is, what is the probability of affair for male with high religiousness versus low religiousness? So I have taken the category 3 and 5. 5 is high and 3 is low, right? So that means, and affair status is over here. So clearly, with the high religiousness, affair status is 40.74, 22 divided by 54. Sorry, this is with low religiousness. So 3 indicates low religiousness. So 22 divided by 54 basically indicates 40.74. And high religiousness is 6 divided by 34 indicates 17.65% is a probability that they will going to have the affair. So this cross table will going to help you a lot in answering questions like this. The probability of female with children are more inclined to affair than female with no children. Well, to answer this table, we have this female, we have already shorted female, we have affair status and all, right? So female with children are more inclined to female with no children. So female with children, so affair is 12 divided by what we have. Sorry, female with children is 60 over here, and affair divided by 216 is giving us the 27.28%. Here, whereas female with no children is 12 divided by 99 give us 12.12%. Indicates that so female with children is having double the probability of engaging an affair compared to female with no children. Now the question number 23. Test the hypothesis male and female are equally attracted to external affair, right? So this is where it's pretty interesting, because this is the chi-square statistic. Yeah, that means this number is what we need to reach, right? 1.56. So this is a table what we have created, and I'll show you all these calculations. So first thing first is gender, male, female, affair status, yes or no. Then count of affair status, very straightforward. You bring the count and it gives you the value, and then average of expected value. So what is the expected value is present over here, is something, if affair is 1 and gender is male, then you have 286 multiply with average affair. But before that we need to check the average affair. So average affair is 150 divided by 601. So from where this 150 is coming and giving us the 601. So this is like of total affair in case of both male and female. 72 plus 78 giving you 150. and 601 is overall observation. So this is the average affair value in the data set. And then expected value is the multiplication with the observed value. So if affair status 1, gender is male, 286 multiply with average affair. So this is something, 286 is basically the count when affair is present, right? And 0 is basically the count or in case of male. When you observe the male value, you will find 286. I think this is what we solved earlier. And in case of female, we find 315, right? And that's what we are calculating, multiplying with affair. If affair is present and female is there, then average affair. And then affair is not present, the probability become opposite, or affair status average affair become opposite. So 0.25% or sorry 25% is average affair value. I know it because I saw it. So 1 minus 25% become like 75% is when the affair is not present, and that's what it is showing over here. This is required for calculation of chi-square statistics, and I suggest if you don't know, you read little bit about that and come back with this calculation, and that will make sense. So first you bring the average affair, then you bring the expected values. That means based on the average of this population, the actual value is 243. However, the expectation is that 236 it should come, which is very near, right? And similarly 72 observation in case of female. However, based on the data set average, it should be 78, and so on and so forth. So overall, in both the cases, the output is same. The total number of value will be same. However, the actual values may differ because expected value is something what we are calculating. Then what we have to calculate over here, if I just extend it little bit. So we have to calculate observed minus expected value. So if you see count of affair status minus average of expected value. So this is observed minus expected, then observed minus expected square, capital 2, oh sorry, cap 2, and then for that square divided by expected value. That means this, whatever is the output is the probability, you take the sum of probability, becomes the chi-square statistics 1.56, right? This is the method, 5-step method, and this is something what I've shown in this 5-step method over here as well. Step number 1, step number 2, calculate the average affair 25%, step number 3, step number 4, the same table which I've created in Excel. 1.50 is something what I'm getting over here. Similarly 1.56 is what I'm getting over here, and over here in step 5, using the table that is present over the link over here, basically gives us at 95% confidence we reject or fail to accept the null hypothesis based on chi-square validation with chi-square table. So we are failed to say that both men and women are equally attracted, and this is something what we saw as well from the data, that males are engaging more as compared to female. But with the help of statistical hypothesis, we can finally conclude with the statistical observation or statistical test, which is a chi-square test in this case. Now the next question that you have is, this is the one, the next question is that you can practice on your own. Male with having children engaging more into external affairs. So here we are bringing male but with children, right? Same procedure, either in Excel or over here, in Tableau, whatever it feels like, do a practice and get the output. What I have not solved is this: if 10 males are randomly selected, then what is the probability? Because I could not find the factorial functions and all, if you will see this, but within the Excel I have solved this case, which is 5%. So the probability of 5 males having an affair from 10 randomly selected observation is 5.8%. But here I was missing those functions. I searched it on the Google community, but I think that is more posted as an idea. But if you know anything about it, let me know, and I'll be happy to produce a different video on top of this video. So that's mainly I wanted to show you how you can solve scenarios like this, the data analysis scenarios like this into the Tableau, and I hope you will enjoy the video. Anywhere if you feel like I have not shown something correctly, please feel free to point it out. I'll be happy to take your comment and correct it in the future videos. With that, thank you so much, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.